Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling, coming to you live from the Dave Cave. My name is Dave Little, and I am so happy that you all have joined us for tonight's edition of the 2021 Heartland Championship Wrestling Tournament of Champions. Got a couple of folks in the chat room here. Please give me a high sign if you can hear me fine, as it looks like the connection is excellent and we are ready for a night of wrestling here in the Dave Cave. It was the year 2006. The month was October when Heartland Championship Wrestling was born, using the Filsinger Games Legends of Wrestling card playing system. So tonight we are celebrating 15 years of continuous action here in the Heartland. And every year in October we have the greatest pay-per-view of the year, the Tournament of Champions. All of the champions who have held titles in the Heartland over the last 12 months are entered in tournaments, men and ladies, singles and tag team. And they have been battling it out through the month of September to get to this occasion for this broadcast. And I would like to welcome our Red Sox fans to the chat room. And thank you for coming out tonight, Al. It is a pleasure and indeed a privilege to have you here on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network, as well as Alex M. And thank you all for coming out tonight. So we have a total of 8 matches, and we're going to do the whole thing here tonight on the stream, starting with the ladies singles semifinal matches. And the star of the ladies division this year has been Allison K. She has qualified both in singles competition and in tag team competition for the Filsinger Cup tournament finals here tonight. That is a very rare feat indeed. I believe only Michael Hayes has accomplished that previously. So Allison is going to try to become the first ever to win 2 Filsinger Cups in 1 year. But she has got one of the hottest competitors in the ladies wrestling division, Shatzie Blackheart, as her opponent tonight. Shatzie, with her speed, her agility, and her creativity, has won the Heartland Ladies Championship and defended it successfully, and has made it to the semifinal round of the Filsinger Cup Ladies Championship Tournament. And that is where we will kick things off here tonight. Shatzie Blackheart taking on Allison K. And good evening to you, Brian Vanderwall. Thanks for coming out tonight. And so the opening initiative role goes to Allison. She is the stronger of the two ladies, has about 4 inches and 25 pounds on Shatzie. But Shatzie has all the quickness, and this should be a good matchup. As the match begins with Allison K. and a drop across the ropes. Shatzie quickly back to her feet. Allison tries a roundhouse kick and misses. That's an agility move. Shatzie gets out of the way of that and fires back by attempting a sunset flip. That is a choice B maneuver. She needs a roll of 8 or lower to hit that, and she hits it. And that takes Allison down to the canvas. Shatzie quickly on top of things. And the Chupacabra by Shatzie Blackheart, I have no idea what that is, but she's going to go for the cover this early in the match. On a roll of snake eyes, it'll be over. But Allison kicks out of that one, and the match continues. Shatzie now in control with a Black Lagoon cutter. Nice looking cutter by Shatzie. Allison stays down, and Shatzie has got it going here in the early going. Here's Shatzie going to the top rope for a death jump. And on a roll of 9, she blasts Allison with a flying clothesline off of the top turnbuckle, and Allison is once again down and stays down. Shatzie follows that up. She's going to go up top again for another death jump. And this time she hits again with a flying missile dropkick off of the top turnbuckle. Allison K. is in a daze right now, as Shatzie has just taken the measure of her with all of these quickness. Here's another Black Lagoon cutter. Here's another cover. But on a roll of 4, she just kicked out. Oh my goodness, the pin roll there was a 3. Allison just kicked out on a roll of 4. Shatzie determined to put an end to this one early. And Shatzie is now going to have the option to pitch her out of the ring. She will not do so since Allison is by far the better competitor on the arena floor. And instead, it's going to be a swinging neck breaker from Shatzie that takes Allison over and down hard to the canvas. Allison finally up to one knee. Shatzie stays on top of her. Oh, a step-up enziguri by Shatzie. Hard to the back of the head. She goes for the cover again. The pin rolls a 4, but on a 5, Shatzie once again is unable to keep her down, and Allison just escapes. My goodness, Shatzie is a whirling dervish here in the early stages of this match. She's going to go up for another death jump. This time on the death jump, a roll of 5. And it is Allison getting to her feet and throwing Shotzi Blackheart off of the turnbuckle and down hard to the canvas. Shatzie is down. Allison is going to get her first offense of the match, at least in a while here, and she's just going to pitch Shatzie out of the ring. Out of the ring we go. This is Allison's playground. Oh, but on a roll of 3, it is Shatzie who gets the jump. Shatzie grabs Allison K by the leg, drags her out of the ring, and smashes her into the turnbuckle post. And Shatzie once again regains control. I think Allison had it in mind just to pitch Shatzie out of the ring and take a breather, but Shatzie wasn't having any of that. As she pulled Allison out of the ring, slammed her into the ring post, and regained control. Here's another chupacabra from Shatzie. Didn't get all of that one. And she's going to follow that up with an attempted standing drop kick. That's an agility move. And on a roll of 8, she missed it. Excuse me, on a roll of 9, she missed it. Allison sidesteps the attempted standing drop kick. And it is Allison who's going to pick her up and go for the fall-away slam. She can hit the fall-away slam on a roll of 7 or lower. And she hits it. Down goes Shatzie to the mat hard. And she is hurt. Allison finally getting a chance to slow the pace of this match down. And Allison is going to go for another big fall-away slam on a roll of 7 or lower. And on a roll of 4, she got her again, up and down hard to the mat. Shatzie is hurt. Allison is in control, and now a big running boot from Allison just knocks Shatzie upside the head and down through the ropes and out to the arena floor. Allison in pursuit as action goes back out to the arena floor. And on a roll of 8, it is Shatzie who is forced to take the helpless crawl back into the ring ahead of the 10 count. What's Allison going to do here? She's going to go for a wheelbarrow driver. The wheelbarrow driver, that is a choice H. And that is not a good move for Allison. That's either a death jump A or a flying elbow drop on a roll of 6 or lower. We're going to go for the 6 or lower. And, oh, she hits it. On a roll of 4, she hits it. And Shatzie is hurt. Choosing the flying elbow, or the agility roll there, if she misses, it's only a level 2 offense for the opponent. So it's the lower risk of the 2 moves. And it is Allison now on level 2 offense with a stunner. But oh, Shatzie reverses that, comes out the back door of that attempted stunner, and it is Shatzie with a lung blower that stuns Allison. Both women are down. Allison is first to her feet, and it is Allison who picks up Shatzie and just drops her neck first across the top rope. Shatzie is down, and she is gasping. Referee admonishing Allison K. But Allison just brushes past the referee and drops Shatzie with another stunner, and she got all of that one. Down goes Shatzie, and it is Allison who's going to go for that wheelbarrow driver again. And this time on a roll of 7, it is Shatzie who escapes. Comes out the back door, and Shatzie is going to follow that up with a choice B, a standing drop kick on a roll of 8 or lower. And she missed that. Both these ladies have started to fatigue now, and they're both miscalculating on some of their moves. Allison now has control, and Allison with the silencer just drops Shatzie down to the canvas hard, face first onto the canvas. Shatzie is down and stays down. Allison with a chance to do something big. Here's a big D slamming Shatzie down to the canvas. Shatzie getting a little bit of the way to her feet, and another silencer from Allison K puts Shatzie back on the mat. Allison coming out with some of the high impact moves here. Here's another attempt at a stunner, and once again it is Shatzie out the back door, and Shatzie with a step up enziguri just nails Allison on the side of the head. Allison went for the cutter. Shatzie escaped, and quick as a hiccup, Shatzie with an enziguri to the back of the head that puts Allison down on the canvas. Shatzie will not let Allison get out of the ring. Instead, she is going to go for a whirling side slam down to the canvas hard, and this time Allison will escape the ring. And on a roll of 7 out of the ring, a wild brawl erupts. The wrestler with the better ring rating wins the brawl, and that is Allison K. She is an A-rated performer on the arena floor. She is in control, and she is going to dump Shatzie once again with another big D. Good match here. Shatzie was in control early. Now they're going back and forth. Here's a whip to the turnbuckle by Allison. Shatzie bounces into the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 10, both women come off the turnbuckle with big specialty moves. Allison has the better turnbuckle rating, so she gets the better of that one, and using a reverse STO just plants Shatzie face down onto the mat, and Shatzie is in trouble again here. Allison to the cutthroat, dropping her down across the knee. Allison follows that up with another whip to the turnbuckle as we say hello to D. Scott Howard here in the chat room, as Shatzie bounces off the turnbuckle. Allison hits her with a kick, and it is Allison keeping control. Another whip to the turnbuckle. Allison has the advantage here, and another big kick from Allison again slows down Shatzie. Whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Shatzie, and on a roll of 11, it is Allison with a huge running clothesline that just takes Shatzie right out of her boots. And down to the canvas once again, Allison in control. Another big D, but once again, Shatzie gets out of the way and gets to her knees. Allison has not been able to find the pinning combination to keep Shatzie down, although she has hit some high impact moves. Another stunner from Allison, and Shatzie is down. And another cutthroat, and Shatzie stays down. Allison K exerting her power. And now another cutthroat, and finally Allison gets the opportunity to go for the cover. The pin roll is a 3, and on a 3 she got her. How about that? Allison K out of nowhere hits the cutthroat on Shotzi Blackheart and puts her down for the pin. My goodness, what a contrast in styles, as Shatzie really had the fast break offense going early on, but Allison was able to withstand the fast high-speed tactics of Shatzie, slow the pace of the match down, and hit some big impact maneuvers, the big D a couple of times, and then the cutthroat for the finish. And your winner in the semifinals of the Heartland Ladies Filsinger Cup Tournament is Allison K. And good run for Shatzie, but she will not make the finals. Allison K will have 2 more matches here tonight, as she will be in both the ladies tag final and the ladies singles final. All right, so a good opening contest. Lots of fans enjoying the action here from the Dave Cave. Thank you all for coming out tonight as we prepare for the other semifinal match. 2 familiar faces to fans of women wrestling and to fans of the Heartland, as it will be Sara Del Rey taking on Sherri Martel. Sara Del Rey, very well-known competitor in her days in Shimmer and Chikara. Sara has pretty well retired from the ring. She is actually now a trainer in the WWE, where she works with a lot of the women athletes in the WWE and helps them perfect their craft. Sara learned at the feet of Brian Danielson, among other trainers. Sara also well known as the sweetheart of Claudio Castagnoli, aka Cesaro. So Sara Del Rey, with a good run through the finals here, has gotten into the semifinals of the tournament, and she will take on a lady who needs no introduction, the one and only Sensational Sherri. Sensational Sherri, a terrific manager, a terrific in-ring performer as well, and part of the legendary Ladies Expansion Pack in 2019 for Filsinger Games. Sara Del Rey using a Chikara card from back in 2012. And these two are ready for action. As Al says, smack that like button. So thank you, Al, for your support. As the second semifinal match in the Heartland Ladies Tournament for the Filsinger Cup is underway, with the opening initiative roll going to Sara. Sara has a slight height and weight advantage, but both these ladies bring the power. And Sherri has the advantage in the athleticism, but a big headbutt from Sara sets the tone for things here. As Sara follows that up with an attempted knee lift, Sherri steps out of the way of the attempted knee lift, and it is Sherri with a running knee lift off the ropes that stuns Sara. Sara is stunned. Sherri follows that up and just pitches Sara out of the ring. Nobody in the ladies division in the history of wrestling can brawl outside the ring quite the way Sherri Martel can. And immediately on a roll of 10, it is Sherri coming out of the ring and smashing Sara face first onto the announcer's table. There will be no disqualifications in Filsinger Cup tournament action. So Sherri is in control here after roughing up Sara on the arena floor. And that's going to be a big advantage for Sherri throughout the night. Here is the option for a death jump for Sherri. She's going to forego that and go up and take Sara down with a spinning toe hold, keeping it grounded. Is Sara going to tap out to this? No, not even close. But starting to weaken the lower extremities of Sara Del Rey with that spinning toe hold. And now Sherri pitches Sara out of the ring once again. Out to the arena floor we go. And on a roll of 6, it is Sherri who wins the brawl on the arena floor once again. Sherri's going to follow that up now with a camel clutch as action returns to the ring. She will need a roll of 8 or lower to complete this on the choice chart. And on a roll of 7, she gets it done. The camel clutch applied by Sherri. Will Sara tap out? On a roll of 3 or lower, she will tap out. Not going to happen quite yet, as Sara is able to work her way to the ropes, but Sara's already picked up 2 points of fatigue relatively early in this match, as Sherri and her rough stuff has just taken control. And now Sherri's going to go up for the top rope splash. That is a +3 finisher. On a roll of 7 or lower, we will have a winner. And on a roll of 5, she got her. Sherri Martel dominated that match to move to the finals of the Filsinger Cup tournament in the ladies bracket by way of the top rope splash. A devastating and dominant match for Sherri Martel. And checking back over the record books, Sherri Martel has not won a Filsinger Cup in the past. So Sherri and Allison are both going for their first ever Filsinger Cup tournament victories. And Sherri Martel actually was the Ladies Wrestler of the Year in 2020 in the Heartland. Although last year's Filsinger Cup winner was Kelly Klein. At the end of the year, Sherri had accumulated the most points, and now she is in the finals for the Filsinger Cup Ladies Tournament that we'll see later on tonight. All right, so a good effort in the tournament for Sara Del Rey, but just couldn't get it done against the rough and tumble Sherri Martel in the semifinal match here tonight of the Ladies Tournament. And now we will head to the semifinal matches for the men's tournament. And probably the surprise tournament entrant into the semifinals is this man, Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas held the West Coast Championship Wrestling Television Championship, which qualified him for the Filsinger Cup. and picked up 3 surprising victories along the way to make it to the semifinals of the tournament from a low-seeded position. He will be taking on this man, the very popular American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes won the Southland Heavyweight Championship down in Texas, and he is ready for action here in the semifinals tonight. Both these men looking for their first ever Filsinger Cup Tournament Championships. Dusty Rhodes, a exclusive limited edition bootleg that I was pleased to get hold of. It is not publicly available. Shane Douglas, of course, a ECW legend and part of the original black and white Filsinger card sets, and also in color in Expansion Pack 4 from the Filsinger Games website. So, Shane Douglas versus Dusty Rhodes here in our first semifinal match in the men's division. And the opening initiative roll will go to Shane Douglas. Douglas starts things off with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Dusty, and on a roll of 8, it is Shane Douglas with a running back elbow that puts Dusty down to the canvas. Rhodes back to his feet. Shane moves in and picks up Dusty high in the air and down hard onto the canvas with a back suplex. Nice looking move there by Shane Douglas. He's given away about 40 pounds in this match, maybe 45. But he got Dusty Rhodes up and down with that suplex. Douglas will follow up with another big back suplex. And quickly Shane goes for the cover. Dusty kicks out of that. But Douglas asserting himself early in this match. He's going to go now with a... he is not going to whip Dusty out of the ring. Dusty's another guy you don't want to mess with in a brawl. Instead, it's going to be a running knee lift from Shane Douglas. And Dusty is dazed. Shane follows that up with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Dusty, and this time on a roll of 7, it is another back elbow from Shane that keeps Shane in control. Shane follows that up with another running knee lift. And oh, this time Dusty is going to fire back, and he is going to grab a headlock and deliver a series of punches to the noggin of Shane Douglas. Shane not very happy about that, as he got a few noogies on his noggin for his troubles in that position, and now it is going to be a belly-to-belly suplex attempted by Dusty, up, over, and down to the canvas hard. Shane Douglas goes down, Dusty in control. Dusty follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Shane, and on a roll of 7, it is a big kick by Dusty Rhodes to the gut of Shane Douglas, keeping Dusty in control of this match. Dusty on offense, another whip to the turnbuckle. On a roll of 6, it is Shane grabbing the arm of Dusty and sending Dusty the opposite way into the turnbuckle. But oh, on a roll of 3, Dusty hits the turnbuckle. Shane Douglas charges in, but Shane Douglas misses with a running shoulder dive, hits the ring post, and tumbles out to the arena floor. Now this match is where Dusty wants it to be, on the arena floor. And Dusty Rhodes is going to deliver a few lefts and rights to Shane Douglas on the arena floor. Douglas is stunned as the match returns to the ring. And it is going to be Dusty going up. He was thinking about a death jump, but instead he is going to just hoist Shane up in the air for a vertical suplex, up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Both men getting to their feet. Both men starting to show some signs of fatigue. It's Douglas who takes the initiative here and hurls Dusty with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Dusty, and oh, on a roll of 3, it is Shane Douglas setting himself too early. Dusty comes off the ropes and nails Shane Douglas in the back of the head with a big elbow smash that just crumples Douglas down onto the canvas. And Dusty is going to pitch Shane out of the ring again. And it is time for another party on the arena floor. And once again, it is Douglas getting the worst of it, as Dusty Rhodes whips Shane Douglas into the steel ring steps at the corner of the ring, and Douglas once again has been stunned. Douglas crawls back into the ring, and oh, as he comes through the ropes, Dusty drops the elbow on him. Dusty goes for the cover. He'll get a pin on Snake Eyes here, but oh, on a roll of 3, Shane Douglas barely gets out of that one. Got his foot over the bottom rope. And Dusty is now in charge. What's Dusty going to do now? He's going to go for the figure 4 leg lock. Another finisher. Dusty with the double finisher. This is a +1 finisher, so on a roll of 4 or lower, Shane Douglas is going to be forced to tap out, but on a roll of 7, Douglas again makes his way to the bottom rope to force the break. Here comes Dusty. He is still in charge, and he is going to go with another big elbow drop. Here's another cover. The pin roll is 4 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Shane gets out once again. So Dusty starting to exert his power advantage here on Shane Douglas, and he has got all the momentum in his favor now with another big elbow drop. Here's another cover, and on a count of 6, Shane Douglas barely gets out again. Foot on the bottom rope. As Douglas is running out of gas here quickly, he's taken 4 fatigue tokens from Dusty just in the last series of moves alone. Dusty is going to pitch Shane Douglas out of the ring once again, and the party will continue on the arena floor with another brawl on the arena floor and another win for Dusty Rhodes. A series of left hands to the side of the head. Shane Douglas is stunned, and he is in big trouble here. Action returns to the ring. Dusty goes back to the figure 4. Can he get the submission this time? He'll get him on a roll of 7 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Shane Douglas is able to power his way out again. Shane Douglas up to 5 fatigue tokens, but showing some resiliency here against the American Dream as Dusty is large and in charge. And the fans here in Milwaukee are loving it. A sleeper hold by Dusty. Dusty goes to the sleeper, surprising Shane Douglas, and now Shane is going to take it upon himself to leave the ring to try and get out of this onslaught. I don't know if this is a very good move, but on a roll of 7, Dusty's just going to wait it out, and Shane is going to have to make the helpless crawl back into the ring to beat the 10 count. Dusty now in control once again, and another sleeper. Another sleeper for Dusty. Shane is staggering around the ring on his feet, gets to the top rope to force the break. Dusty still in control, and Dusty with a flip, flop, and fly, that big spinning elbow drop around and down hard to the head of Shane Douglas. Shane is on Loopy Street now. He has no idea which way is up. And another big elbow smash from Dusty takes Shane back to the canvas. Here's a cover. The pin rolls a 7, and on a roll of 8, Shane got his foot on the ropes again. Do you believe it? I don't know how Shane Douglas has managed to survive all of these finishers and all of this onslaught by Dusty, but the match continues. And now Dusty's going back to the figure 4, and I think this may be it for Shane Douglas. He is worn out, and on a roll of 9 or lower, Shane Douglas is going to be forced to tap out here. And on a roll of 9, he got it. Wow. What a match for both these men. But it was Shane Douglas who took all kinds of punishments before finally submitting to the figure 4 leg lock administered by Dusty Rhodes for the 3rd occasion in that match. Shane Douglas survived that move twice. He survived several big elbow drops from Dusty, but Dusty was relentless in his offensive onslaught against Shane Douglas. And with that victory, it is Dusty Rhodes moving to tonight's main event, where he will wrestle for the Filsinger Cup Championship. He has not won the Filsinger Cup before. He's after it for the first time. But he will be taking on the winner of our next semifinal contest. Ric Flair won the Filsinger Cup in 2020 and also won the Wrestler of the Year in 2020. And he has made it to the semifinals of the 2021 Filsinger Cup Tournament Championship as he attempts to go back-to-back on Filsinger Cup tournament wins. But he will have a big matchup here tonight against this man, VADER. Ric Flair and VADER in the semifinals of the Filsinger Cup Championship. And it will be VADER is now your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. As we say hello to Cleveland baseball fan 879. Welcome to the broadcast. Woo, says Cleveland baseball fan, as Ric Flair comes down the aisle. And Carl Zilla in the chat room. Seems like a no-brainer that Dusty moved on. Douglas was clearly outclassed there. I cannot disagree with that analysis from Carl Zilla. But regardless of who wins the other semifinal match, Dusty is going to have his hands full big time in the tournament final. And this is huge for Ric Flair, because the winner of the Filsinger Cup gets an automatic shot at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Flair lost that championship earlier this year. He lost a #1 contenders match against Bobo Brazil that has, for the moment, taken Flair out of contention. But he can get right back on the title map with a win here in the Filsinger Cup tournament tonight. So without any further ado, Ric Flair and VADER, legendary rivals, squaring off in the semifinals of the 2021 Filsinger Cup tournament. And the opening initiative roll goes to VADER. VADER in control. He's got over 200 pounds on Flair. And he tries the dropkick, but Flair gets out of the way of that one. Don't know what VADER was thinking with a dropkick attempt. And it is Flair with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes VADER. But on a roll of 4 coming off the ropes, it is Flair who drops down for the back body drop too early. And VADER nails him with a knee to the side of the head. And Flair tumbles to the canvas, stunned after taking that big blow to the side of the head. And VADER quickly puts him up and down for the VADER bomb. He goes for the cover. The pin roll will be snake eyes, but Flair kicks out of that one. VADER asserting his power early in this match. What's VADER going to do now? He is going to go for a bone-crunching splash. And Flair is going to take that full-body splash. And his ribs are in bad shape already in this match after a VADER bomb and a bone-crushing splash, as Flair is going to roll out of the ring. And VADER will follow. And on a roll of 5, that is the odd even roll. There are no disqualifications here in the Filsinger Cup tournaments. But on a roll of 5 on the rating of A, the opponent comes out of the ring and a wild brawl erupts. Both wrestlers roll disqualification. That ain't going to happen. If nobody is disqualified, roll 1 die to see who wins the brawl. So on the even roll, it is Flair who wins the brawl. On the odd roll, it goes to VADER. And on a roll of 2, it is Flair who wins the brawl. Back into the ring we go. Flair with a big suplex. Takes VADER up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Flair with a quick cover. He needed snake eyes there, and VADER kicked out with authority. Both men have absorbed a fatigue token here so far. But Flair is in control, and he is going to go for the sleeper hold. Trying to wear the big man down. That is a choice H roll. So he will need 8 or lower to complete the sleeper hold, and he got him. Sleeper hold applied by Flair. And VADER goes to one knee but manages to elbow his way out. Flair remains in control. Flair with a series of thunderous chops across the chest of the kneeling VADER. And VADER has been stunned. VADER on one knee, trying to fend off those vicious backhand chops by the Nature Boy. And here comes a somersault knee drop by the Nature Boy to the head of VADER. And VADER remains down, but he is trying to get back up to his feet. Flair is going to spin around and drop down across the knee of VADER in the knee breaker. And that does a point of damage to the knee of VADER. And for those of you who have watched Flair in the past, you know that he has got a additive finisher on this figure 4 leg lock. Every time he hits one of these moves that injures the knee of the opponent, that makes the figure 4 leg lock finishing rating go up by 1. So Flair with that thunderous knee breaker has done a measure of damage to the knee of Vader, and Vader's now just going to roll out of the ring. As we say hello to James Lawrence III, joining us here at ringside. Thank you for coming by tonight. This is the semifinals of the Filsinger Cup Tournament, Flair and Vader. Vader has just left the ring, and on a roll of 9, it is the helpless crawl. In order to meet the referee's count, Vader crawls helplessly back into the ring where Flair is waiting and ready to pounce. What's Flair going to do? Flair is just going to pitch Vader back out of the ring again. As Vader tried to crawl through, Flair stuck a knee into the ribs of Vader, and Vader flops back out onto the arena floor. And on a roll of 9, he's going to wait it out again. Vader trying to make it back into the ring on this helpless crawl. And this time Flair, is going to get him coming into the ring. And as Vader staggers to his feet, Flair clips the injured knee and does another point of damage to Vader's left knee. Vader starting to favor that left knee as Flair is doing his work. And now Flair is going to go with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Vader. But on a roll of 5, it is Vader with a powerful flying shoulder tackle off the ropes. And that puts Ric Flair down onto the canvas. Flair is down. Vader is in control. Vader moves in and is going to, he's not going to go for the whip to the ropes here. He instead is going to just grab Flair into a front chancery. Holding Flair down onto the mat. Going back to a little old school wrestling action here. What's Vader going to do now? He's going to go for the power elbow drop. That is a choice move. And he is going to need a roll of 7 or lower to make this happen. And on a roll of 6, he hits it. Big elbow drop from Vader. Vader's going to go for a quick cover after the elbow drop. The pin roll is snake eyes, but on a roll of 6, Flair gets free. Flair got the right shoulder up, and the match continues, but another point of fatigue applied to Ric Flair. And now Vader's going for the release power bomb. This is a big finisher for Vader. This is a +2 finisher. The pin roll here is 5 or lower, but on a roll of 9, Flair kicks out again. Vader with the big release power bomb. Flair is stunned and just shaking on the mat in pain, rolling around trying to get to his feet as Vader moves in for another move. And this time it is going to be Vader who pitches Flair out of the ring. And out we go to the arena floor once again. And on a roll of 6, it is Flair who grabs Vader and smashes him onto the announcer's table. That's a win for Flair. And Flair now regains control as Vader comes back into the ring. And on a roll of 9, once again, that is the helpless crawl. Vader returning to the ring. And Flair now is going to go for the figure 4. How about that? That is going to be a +2 finisher now due to the 2 injuries suffered on the leg of Vader. So the submission rating here will be a total of 5. 2 for the finish rating, +1 fatigue, +2 for the figure 4. On a 5 or lower, Vader will have to tap out. But on a roll of 8, Vader powers his way free. Vader not ready to give up just yet in spite of the injuries to the knee. And the figure 4 adds another point to the damage of the figure 4, up to a total of 4. This number can go up as high as 4 when Flair has done all the damage he needs to do. What's Flair going to do now? He's going to go back to the sleeper. Flair goes back to the sleeper hold. That is a choice H move. He is going to need a roll of 8 or lower to complete the sleeper hold. And on a roll of 5, he's got it cinched in. Vader struggling with that sleeper hold. And Vader now is going to leave the ring. Out of the ring goes Vader to escape the sleeper hold. But on a roll of 7, they're going to mix it up out on the arena floor. And it is going to be Flair, the wrestler on offense, who gains the advantage on the brawl on the arena floor. And Flair now gets Vader with a big, vicious chop across the chest on the arena floor, and that just stuns Vader and staggers him backward. Action returns to the ring where Flair is waiting. And Flair's going to try a pin using the ropes. Vader comes back through. Flair is going to try a pin using the ropes. The pin count on this one is a 4 or lower, but on a roll of 9, Vader kicks out. Dirty tactics by Ric Flair, inside the ring and out. Flair in control now, and he is going to clip the knee once again. Another knee clip, and that puts Vader at a full 4 points of knee damage. And that's all the damage that Flair's able to do, but the next time the figure 4 is locked in place, it will be a +4 finisher, and that could spell curtains for the big man Vader. Flair in control. Flair with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Vader, clearly favoring that left knee. But as Vader comes off the ropes, on a roll of 7, it is Flair with a running back elbow that puts Vader back down onto the canvas. Flair follows that up with another butt drop across the leg. Vader grimacing in pain. You can see the pain on his face even through the mask. Flair follows that up with another butt drop across the leg, but this time Vader's going to fire back, and it is Vader who's going to go for the power elbow drop. He rolled out of the way of that butt drop across the leg. Flair hits the canvas hard. And on a roll of, let's see, choice E, on a roll of 7 or lower, he can hit the power elbow drop. Oh, but Flair got out of the way of the power elbow drop. Flair now in control. Flair with a knee breaker. Vader grimacing in pain. Flair follows that up with another butt drop across the leg. He is torturing the leg of Vader. Vader barely able to get to his feet as Flair drops the knee across the knee once again. Flair now with an elbow drop. Didn't get all of that one. And Vader is going to just grab Flair in a chokehold and try to choke Flair down just to get some of the pressure taken off. Referee puts the count on Vader. Vader breaks the chokehold at the count of 4. And Vader is going to follow up by shoving Flair into the corner and just pummeling him with forearm after forearm. Those big meat hooks of Vader pounding away at Flair in the corner. Flair fires back, grabs Vader by the arm, whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Vader. But on a roll of 5, it is a powerful flying tackle from Vader that takes Flair down to the canvas. Vader using his weight advantage to knock Flair down to the mat. And now a big boot to the face from Vader leaves Ric Flair in a tizzy. Vader's going to follow that up with more hammering forearms in the corner. Flair taking punishment. Here's a front face lock from Flair, from Vader. Takes Flair down to the canvas. But Flair reverses that and drops the elbow on Vader before Vader can get to his feet. Flair back in control. Flair with another knee breaker. And this time Vader rolls out of the ring again. This match is a classic. On they go into the night. And on a roll of 6, that's a win for Vader. As Vader grabs Flair and just slams him back first into the ring apron, leaving Flair gasping. These men are going at it tooth and nail. Action remains out of the ring. And this time it is Flair who is taking punishment as Vader picks up Flair and just drops him flat down hard onto the arena floor with a big back suplex. And Flair is on the on the arena floor, rolling around, writhing in agony. Vader first back to the ring. Flair has to get in there and beat the 10 count. Here's a big suplex from Vader. Up, over, and down hard to the canvas goes Flair. Vader follows up with a big boot to the face. Flair is staggered. Finally, Flair gets to his feet, and here is a big body slam from Vader, taking Flair down to the mat hard. Back and forth we go. This has been a tremendous match as we say hello to JT in the chat room. Big boot to the face from Vader puts Flair back on the canvas. Flair just staggers around. He's on Goofy Street, and Flair just flops face first down onto the ring in a tizzy. And now here is another big power body slam from Vader. Flair taking all sorts of punishment here. Big clothesline from Vader puts Flair back down onto the canvas. Vader follows that up with another front slam, and now it is Flair who is going to roll out of the ring to safety. Out of the ring we go once again. On the arena floor, it is Vader who wins the brawl. pummeling Flair with those big ham hocks. Lefts, rights to the side of the head. Flair backing down and begging off. VADER back into the ring. VADER with a big suplex. Flair back out to the arena floor again. Out we go to the arena floor again. We're not going to see any shenanigans. That's going to happen soon enough here. And instead, it is going to be Flair who grabs VADER and chops him across the chest on the arena floor. VADER is gassed. Flair now is in control as we come back into the ring, and Flair's going to go back to the sleeper hold. And VADER takes the brunt of the sleeper hold. What's he going to do? He is going to stagger around and finally back his way to the turnbuckle to force the break, as Flair is using that sleeper hold effectively to weaken the big man. Here's more chops in the corner from Flair, punishing the chest of the big man. Another knee breaker from Flair. Just when VADER was starting to get some momentum back, Flair goes back to the knee. Flair back to the knee once again. VADER staggering, slumping against the turnbuckle as Flair just punishes them with chops, with attacks to the knee. Flair now with a knee drop onto the knee once again in the corner. VADER trapped in the corner and Flair just pounding away. VADER comes out of the corner. Flair whips him to the ropes. Off the ropes, and it is this time Flair with a high back body drop, taking VADER up over and down to the canvas hard. Flair in control. Flair with another knee breaker, working that injured knee, keeping on the attack. Here's an elbow drop from Flair. But oh, VADER rolls out of the way of that one, and it is VADER who is first to get to his feet as Flair hits the mat hard. And VADER with a power body slam, taking Flair down to the mat hard once again. Now it's Flair rolling out of the ring. Flair on the arena floor. And on a roll of three, it is Flair who grabs VADER, gets him by that injured leg, and slams the injured leg of VADER into the turnbuckle post. VADER is hurting now. Flair takes control. Action remains on the arena floor. Both men gasping with their final breath as they continue to battle. We're going to see some shenanigans here, as they have been out of the ring so many times that we're about to see what's going to happen by way of the shenanigans roll. And on a roll of 7, we're going to the foreign object charts. A foreign object has been introduced. It is the hammer from the timekeeper's bell. We go to the gut check roll, and it is VADER who wins the gut check roll. He grabs the hammer away from Flair and slams Flair upside the head with the timekeeper's hammer. What a move by VADER, defending himself on the outside of the ring. Action goes back into the ring, and it's going to be VADER with another big suplex. Flair is down. Out of the ring we go again. Flair has to crawl back in ahead of the 10 count. But VADER just kicks Flair in the ribs and sends Flair back out to the arena floor. More shenanigans will follow. This time it's going to be a ringside table. What is going to happen with the ringside table? Flair trying to set up a table. Flair slides a table into the ring. And let's see what's going to happen here. The gut check roll this time goes to Flair, and he is able to back body drop VADER through the table. Oh my goodness, VADER goes through the table. That's going to cost him a point of fatigue. Flair now in control. Flair goes back to the sleeper. On a roll of 7, the sleeper is locked in. VADER is going to potentially be put out here on a roll of 6 or lower. But on a roll of 10, he gets free. VADER is able to free himself from the sleeper hold. Flair is in control. What's he going to do now? We're going to go to school. It's the figure 4 leg lock for Ric Flair. And after the damage done to the knee, that's going to be a +4 finisher. So the finishing roll here is 11. VADER's going to need boxcars to stay in this match. And on a roll of 9, VADER is finally forced to tap out. Flair wins it with a figure 4 after a marathon match. in the ring, out of the ring, table in the ring, timekeeper's hammer. And finally, Flair wins it with the figure 4 leg lock to move to the finals of the Filsinger Cup tournament, where he will take on Dusty Rhodes in a match to determine who will win the cup. Oh my goodness gracious, what a match we have seen between Flair and VADER. Match of the year candidate there, as both men were, let's see, both men were at 4 fatigue tokens in the end, plus the 4 points of damage to the knee of VADER, and that's what made the difference, as Flair was finally, after a marathon battle, able to lock on the figure 4 leg lock and force VADER to give it up. Even the play-by-play announcer needs a drink after that match. All right, the semifinals are complete in both singles brackets, and it is time now for the second half of tonight's show, where we will start awarding Filsinger Cup titles to the winners of our last 4 matches. First off, it is going to be the Ladies Tag Team Championship match of the Filsinger Cup tournament. And we have 2 very accomplished teams vying for the Ladies Filsinger Cup Tournament Championship. Neither of these teams has won the cup in the past. Last year's winners, the Minnesota Home Wrecking Crew of Lacey and Rain of Ring of Honor fame. This year we have got one of the great teams in Shakara history, as well as Shimmer Championship Wrestling, the team known as the Kimber Bombs, Kimber Lee and Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb, of course, now appearing in AEW as the Bunny. And her longtime tag team partner, Kimber Lee, collectively known as the Kimber Bombs. And they will face off against Allison Kay, who we've already seen in her singles action tonight, and her regular tag team partner by the name of Taylor Made. Collectively, these two are known as Made in Sin, and they also distinguished themselves in Shimmer tag team competition back in the day. So, gosh, the fans are still buzzing over that Flair and VADER showdown, and that was only the semifinals of the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament. That match could main event any pay-per-view of the year. And yet now we've got Flair and Dusty to follow, along with Allison Kay versus Sherri Martel. But Allison Kay's got the Tag Team Championship on her mind right now with her partner Taylor Made, as we kick things off here in the first final match of the Filsinger Cup Tournament. It will be Kimberly starting off against Allison Kay for their respective teams. Allison, the strongest of the ladies in the match. Kimber, the faster of the two in the ring currently. And the opening initiative roll goes to Allison. Allison Kay starts things off with an attempt at a roundhouse kick. That's an agility move. Kimberly gets out of the way of that one. And Kimber tries for the armbar. That's a power move, and that ain't going to work. Allison now, what's she going to do? She is going to go once again for the stunner. And that takes Kimberly quickly down to the mat. She got all of that stunner after Kimber tried for the armbar. Kimber is down, and Allison's going to right away just pitch her out of the ring, where Allison loves to play. Oh, but on a roll of 3, it is Kimber who gets the draw. She grabs Allison by the leg and slams the leg of Allison into the turnbuckle post. Kimber now quickly in control. What's Kimber going to do? She's going to go to the top rope and attempt a missile drop kick. To the death jump chart we go. Oh, but on a roll of 2, that is the ref bump roll. Down goes the referee. Oh my goodness. The referee is down, and he will be down for 9 moves. As we will signify those 9 moves with this 10-sided die. So for the next 9 moves, anything goes. And on the even roll, it is Kimberly, who is distracted by the fallen referee, and Allison K, who takes control. Allison immediately drops Kimber with an AK-47. Allison follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Kimberly, but on a roll of 5, it is Kimber with a knee to the head of Allison, and that puts Kimber in control. What's Kimber going to do here? Kimber is going to go with a tarantula type hold. That is a choice D, and in order to execute that, she needs a 7 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Allison powers her way free from that, and it is Allison with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Kimberly, and on a roll of 8, Allison puts Kimber down with a running kick. Allison in control. Allison with the silencer, and that takes a big piece of starch out of Kimber. And now Taylor Made is going to come into the ring. There's no referee here to prevent the double team. And on a roll of 7, it is Allison K who holds Kimberly, while Taylor Made comes off the ropes and nails Kimberly with a running forearm smash. As we say good evening to Salvatore America. How are you, my man? It is good to see you. It's been too long. Kimber now still staggered as Allison is in control after the double team by Taylor Made. Cherry Bomb chases Taylor Made out of the ring as Allison K goes with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Kimberly, and on a roll of 8, it is another big kick from Allison K that staggers Kimberly. Kimberly would love to tag out of this match. Allison won't let her do it. Allison now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Kimberly, and a big kick from Allison in the corner stuns Kimberly once again. Kimberly in trouble here early on. Here's another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Kimberly. Allison K bounces down. Kimberly bounces off the other side. And this time it is Kimberly who gets the drop and scores with a running knee smash to the side of the head of Allison K. Allison is down. What's Kimber going to do here? She is going to go with a German suplex up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Allison K hits hard. The referee is back on his feet as Kimber makes the tag to Cherry Bomb. We're going to see a double team here. And on a roll of 7, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline from the Cherry Bombs, from the Kimber Bombs, that puts Allison back down on the canvas. Cherry now in control. Cherry's going to go up to the top rope for a death jump. And on a roll of 6, it is a flying clothesline off the top turnbuckle by Cherry Bomb that puts Allison K back down onto the mat. Cherry follows that up with pitching Allison out of the ring. There's no choice attached to that, so Allison is out of the ring. And on a roll of 7, it is the better ring rating who wins the match, and that is indeed Allison K's forte. Allison back in the ring and back in control, as she is going to go for a death jump of her own. And on a roll of 8, she nails it. Good flying clothesline off the top rope, and Allison's finally going to get over and tag in Taylor Made. Both fresh competitors in the match. Taylor Made in control as she comes in and goes with an inverted stomp face breaker. That looked like that had to hurt. Cherry's going to try and make the tag. She cannot get over there as Taylor stays on her. And Taylor now is going to go up for another death jump. And another roll of 9 on the death jump is a flying clothesline off the top rope for Taylor Made. Taylor coming off the top rope again with another big blow. Taylor in control and another inverted stomp face breaker. Tag to Allison. Here comes another double team. And it is a bone-crunching double clothesline from the team of Made in Sin that puts Cherry back down to the canvas. Excellent action here. Here's a big D from Allison. Cherry's going to try and make the tag. She still cannot get over there. Allison stays in control. Allison pitches Cherry Bomb out of the ring. To the arena floor we go once again. Cherry Bomb is going to be forced to make the helpless crawl to get back into the ring ahead of the 10 count with Allison in control. Allison with another big D. Cherry Bomb up to hands and knees. Allison follows that up with another silencer. Cherry Bomb slow to get to her feet. Allison, this time with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Cherry Bomb, and on a roll of 7, it is a running back elbow from Allison that puts Cherry Bomb back down onto the canvas. Tag is made to Taylor. Double team attempt is a double elbow smash from both members of Made in Sin, and that's going to keep Taylor in control against Cherry Bomb, who's starting to feel the effects. Here's a flying drop kick. Oh, Taylor missed that one as Cherry Bomb gets out of the way. And it is Cherry Bomb who drops Taylor Made across the knee with that cherry bopper, that knee-assisted face breaker on Taylor Made. She's going to go for the pin, and on a roll of 7, Taylor kicks out, but we've got our first point of fatigue assigned to this match, and it is suffered by Taylor after the cherry popper by Cherry Bomb. What's Cherry Bomb going to do now? She's going to go for Anger is Beauty. That is her finishing hold. It is a bridging double chicken wing submission move. The submission roll here is a 5, and that means that Allison Kay is going to have to make a pin save. And on a roll of 8, she's unable to get there. On a roll of 5 or lower, Taylor Made is going to have to tap out. But on a roll of 10, Taylor is able to power her way to the bottom rope. Taylor gets out of that, but that costs her a point of fatigue, and it also uses up one of the pin saves from Made in Sin. Here's a tag to Kimber, and a double team attempt for the Kimber Bombs. And oh, a double face-first suplex delivered to Taylor, and that is a devastating blow. Kimberly now makes the cover. The pin roll is a 5. We're going to need another pin save. And on a roll of 11, all 4 women now are in the ring. So Taylor suffers a point of fatigue. Made in Sin uses their last pinfall. Now we've got a wild brawl in the ring with all 4 wrestlers. The brawl will be decided by the odd-even roll. Kimber gets the odd roll. Taylor gets the even roll. And on a roll of 3, it is Kimberly who wins the brawl. And Kimberly will stay on level 3 offense as Taylor Made is down and the referee is putting Allison Kay out of the ring. Kimber is going to go for a death jump. And on a roll of 8, Kimber nails Taylor Made with a flying forearm off of the top turnbuckle. Kimber is in control. A low blow from Kimberly. Adding insult to injury. This is Kimberly's CZW card, so she was known to play fast and loose with the rules occasionally in that capacity. And she just nailed Taylor Made with a low blow. And now she's going to go back to that tarantula hold. This is a choice D move. So she will need a roll of 10 or lower to complete the tarantula hold. And on a roll of 5, she's got it cinched in. And it is going to be Taylor who is taking the brunt of that. Tag to Cherry Bomb. Double team attempt to follow here, and they hit another double team move. A devastating double team move. And Taylor takes another point of fatigue after a double drop kick from the Kimber Bombs. Cherry now in control. Cherry going for the whip out of the ring. Back to the arena floor we go. Taylor Made is out there, but on a roll of 5, it is Taylor Made who wins the brawl, grabs Cherry Bomb by the back of the neck and slams Cherry Bomb face first onto the announcer's table. Cherry Bomb now is stunned. Back into the ring we go. Taylor makes the tag, and they're going to go for their finisher, the 8th Deadly Sin. That's a +2 finisher. The pin roll here is a 5, and now the Kimber Bombs will have to use a pin save attempt. On a 10, that's no good. On a roll of 5 or lower, Cherry Bomb is pinned. And on a roll of 5, we have a winner. How about that? Out of nowhere, the team of Made in Sin wins the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Championship. Taylor was in all kinds of trouble, but she came up out of nowhere, winning that brawl on the arena floor by virtue of the tag team 8th Deadly Sin, Taylor and Allison K have won the Filsinger Cup. So there is a celebration in the ring as the first Filsinger Cup title of 2021 is awarded to the team of Allison K and Taylor Made, collectively known as the KIMBER, the Made in Sin. So how about that action here in Milwaukee? And if this looks suspiciously familiar, I'm using one of the Play.com cups that Keith Avalone sent along as our championship trophy. As in the ring there is a celebration, the first of the night, as the team Made in Sin, Allison K and Taylor Made, have won the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament. Alright, so one champion has been crowned, 3 more remain, and we are going to go now to men's Tag Team Championship action, as the team of Made in Sin leaves the ring victorious with the Filsinger Cup and with a tag team title match in hand by virtue of that victory. And now we're going to see 2 longtime rival tag teams, both from the same territory, the Texas territory, the Midwest territory known as Pro Wrestling Mid-America. You know these guys? We love these guys. The Crusher and Dick the Bruiser are coming out to the ring. These are 2 of the most rough and tumble guys in wrestling history. And they are going to face Texas legends Michael P.S. Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy, collectively known as the Fabulous Freebirds, and they will be accompanied to the ring by this unsavory character, Buddy Roberts. These 2 teams have traded the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship back and forth over the past year. They have battled for the World Tag Team Championship, which is currently held by the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. But tonight, the winner of this match will get to face the Midnight Rockers in a tag team title match, as is the privilege of whoever wins the Filsinger Cup tournament. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, Made in Sin, getting it done, says Salvatore America. Thank you for the kind words. And yeah, thank you for the kind words about the setup. So we are good to go here, as the next Filsinger Cup will be awarded in this match between the Bruiser and the Crusher and the Fabulous Freebirds. And it will be Dick the Bruiser to open the match for his team against Michael P.S. Hayes. As these guys are ready to do battle. And the opening initiative role goes to Michael P.S. Hayes. And he struts out there, just looking like a peacock, strutting around the ring. Dick the Bruiser's not going to take that very well, and Dick the Bruiser just drives his knee into the gut of Michael P.S. Hayes. And that'll be the end of that bad street strut for Michael P.S. Hayes. Dick the Bruiser in control, picks Hayes up and slams him down hard to the mat. Big body slam by Dick the Bruiser. Bruiser follows that up with another big body slam. And very quickly, Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher take control. Tag to the Crusher. And these 2 men are going to team up with a high double neck breaker, slamming Michael P.S. Hayes down hard on the back of his neck. And putting the Crusher firmly in control of this match. The Crusher now is going to pitch Michael Hayes out of the ring, and this is where the party's going to start. All 4 of these men love to mix it up on the arena floor. And in our first venture out of the ring tonight, it is Michael Hayes who gets the drop. Grabs the knee of the Crusher and slams Crusher knee first into the turnbuckle post. Hayes in control now, and Hayes is going to go with a running knee drop. That is a choice H maneuver. He's going to use the agility option, and on a 10 or lower, he will connect with the running knee drop. And on a roll of 6, he got it. Crusher is down. He is hurt, and Hayes is going to tag Terry Gordy into the match for the first time. Gordy the power guy here. And he comes into the ring immediately with a big back suplex on the Crusher, taking Crusher down hard hard to the mat. Can Crusher make the tag? No. Gordy stays on him. Gordy follows that up with a power bomb. And down to the canvas hard goes the Crusher. Gordy goes for the pin. The pin roll here is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he got him just like that. Oh my goodness. Out of nowhere, a pinfall off of a power bomb by Terry Gordy. Suspicious circumstances here. I don't know if the Freebirds used some sort of a foreign object or if there was some sort of shenanigans that went on in that match. But just like that, on the first pin attempt of the match, the Crusher is down and the fabulous Freebirds are your winners. And on a, we'll do a gut check roll here to see if there was any shenanigans. On a roll of 5, that is medium shenanigans. So we'll say that Buddy Roberts held the leg of the Crusher from outside the ring to enable Gordy to get that pinfall. So shenanigans by the Freebirds wins them the title as Gordy with the power bomb scores the pinfall over the Crusher. And it is the fabulous Freebirds, all 3 of them, celebrating in the ring with the Filsinger Cup, much to the dismay of the fans here in Milwaukee. Turner Hall in Milwaukee is your venue for this broadcast, as the Freebirds will celebrate. Terry Gordy, Michael P.S. Hayes, and Buddy Roberts. Give the assist to Buddy Roberts in that situation, as Gordy delivers the power slam on the Crusher to win the championship. And the fabulous Freebirds are your winners of the Filsinger Cup Championship for 2021. They also won the titles in 2020. So 2 in a row for Terry Gordy and Michael P.S. Hayes, making them the first tag team in history to get back-to-back Filsinger Cup championships. Last year it got them into world title contention. This year it gets them a shot at the Midnight Rockers, as Jannetty and Michaels will take on Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy with the World Tag Team Championship on the line. What a surprising outcome to that match. Give the assist to Buddy Roberts. You know you can never trust that son of a gun. But there will be consequences down the line if the Crusher has anything to say about that. Oh my goodness, what a conclusion to the Tag Team Championship bout, as Terry Gordy and Michael P.S. Hayes are your winners and your Filsinger Cup Tag Team Champions for 2021, repeating the feat that they accomplished in 2020. All right, we are now up to the singles finals, and it will be the ladies kicking things off with Allison Kay taking on Sherri Martel. This is Allison's 3rd match of the night. She's barely done celebrating her previous encounter. Allison definitely the heel in this situation. Over the year 2021, Allison Kay was the most controversial figure in women's wrestling. If you recall, there was a feud throughout the summer where some of the finest ladies in the Heartland wrestling establishment, Sherri Martel, cheerleader Melissa, Soraya Knight, and Kylie Ray, battled all summer against a group of masked invaders. But in the middle of all that, Allison Kay did not side with her Heartland ladies wrestling teammates. She instead took the occasion of an outside attack by the masked invaders to steal the Mistress of Mayhem Championship away from Kylie Ray, who had been attacked on the outside of the ring. So not only did Allison Kay fail to defend one of her backstage mates, she took advantage of the opportunity to win gold, and she has been a hated figure in the Heartland ever since. Certainly winning the Filsinger Cup will make her even more hated, and Sherri Martel was part of the entourage that was battling against the masked invaders, and so there is no love lost between these two, and this one could get nasty in a hurry, as both of these competitors want to get after each other, but more than anything want to get their hands on the Filsinger Cup trophy for 2021. And as we look back over the Filsinger Cup history, neither of these ladies have won a Filsinger Cup in the past. SHERRI Martel did win the Ladies Wrestler of the Year in the Heartland for the year 2020. And as she looks to repeat that feat in 2021, I'm sure a Filsinger Cup victory here would be a significant feather in her cap when the year-end tallies are tallied. All right, SHERRI Martel wrestling babyface against the heel Allison K as we get things started here. And it is Allison K who wins the initiative role. And Allison K is going to try for an avalanche in the corner. SHERRI gets out of the way of that one. Allison crashes into the corner hard. SHERRI follows that up with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Allison K, and on a roll of 8, it is a running back elbow from SHERRI that puts Allison down to the mat. What's SHERRI going to do here? Oh, SHERRI goes right to the spinning toe hold. Right to the spinning toe hold. And Allison is unable to get free from that right away as SHERRI does some damage to the knee. SHERRI's going to follow that up and pitch Allison out of the ring, and here we go. The brawl starts at ringside, and on a roll of 6, it is Allison K who wins the brawl at ringside with a stiff forearm to the side of the face followed by a boot to the head, and SHERRI is staggered. Action returns to the ring. Allison drops SHERRI with a cutthroat. SHERRI back to her feet. Allison follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes SHERRI. And on a roll of 5, it is an incredible skull-splitting lariat from SHERRI Martel that takes Allison K down to the mat hard. And Allison stays down. SHERRI in control. And she's going to go right to the top rope splash. That's a +3 finisher. On a roll of 5, we have a pinfall. And on a roll of snake eyes, she got her. SHERRI Martel with the top rope splash to defeat Allison K and win the Ladies Filsinger Cup. So that is 2 quick and unexpected finishes in a row in matches here in the Filsinger Cup Finals, as Allison K leaves the ring in defeat, somewhat humiliated, but she's already got 1 Filsinger Cup on her resume tonight as a result of her tag team victory. And now it is SHERRI Martel who wins the Filsinger Cup Ladies Tournament. So congratulations to SHERRI Martel, the 2020 Heartland Ladies Wrestler of the Year, and now your 2021 Heartland Ladies Filsinger Cup Tournament winner. Wow, gosh, we're an hour and 20 minutes or so into the broadcast, and we have reached tonight's main event of the evening. Thank you to everybody who has stuck it out here for these great matches. But this is the biggest night of the year in the Heartland, as the Filsinger Cup trophies are the most coveted prize in the territory. And as SHERRI celebrates with the fans, into the ring we have 2 legendary and longtime rivals, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Rivals in WCW, rivals in real life, as these 2 guys were known to try and one-up each other at every opportunity. And now they both have a chance to win Filsinger Cup Gold. This would be Dusty's first Filsinger Cup championship. Flair actually also won this tournament last year. So Flair looking to repeat and get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Dusty looking to win gold for the very first time in Filsinger Cup tournament history. As Carl Zilla says, he was pulling for SHERRI, as was everybody else in the civilized world. Congratulations to SHERRI Martel. As Salvatore America says, back-to-back quick finishes. What is going on here? Good thing they don't get paid by the hour. Indeed, that is the case. And here we go. Flair and Dusty in the main event. Just like a Starrcade of old. Only no Joltin' Joe Frazier as the referee. Dusty and Flair to start things off. And the opening initiative roll goes to the Nature Boy. Woo! And Flair starts things off by strutting around the ring and giving a big woo. Dusty is not impressed. They lock up and Flair's going to go for a reverse atomic drop as he ducks behind Dusty and tries to get him up. That is a choice roll. It's going to require a roll of 8 or lower to execute. And on a roll of 11, Dusty powers his way out of that. And it is Dusty who fires back and just nails Ric Flair right between the eyes with a bionic elbow. How about that? Flair drops to the canvas after being hit with that bionic elbow, and immediately Flair is going to roll out of the ring. Dusty is not afraid to take it to the arena floor either. And on a roll of 8, it is Dusty who wins the brawl on the arena floor with another stiff elbow smash to the head of Flair. Flair in trouble quickly as Dusty follows that up and Dusty goes to the sleeper. We've seen both men use the sleeper hold tonight with varying degrees of effectiveness. Flair is able to get free of that, but Dusty grabs him and whips him to the turnbuckle. Whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Flair, and he grabs the arm of Dusty and sends Dusty into the turnbuckle. Dusty comes off the turnbuckle, and Flair smashes him with a big kick. And that puts Flair in control. As Salvador America, Flair versus Dusty. Every time these two go at it, usually it is for some kind of big prize. And in this case, it is the coveted Filsinger Cup trophy. Ric Flair in control, and he goes with thunderous chops across the chest of Dusty Rhodes. Rhodes feeling the effects of those chops as Flair comes in for a finisher, and he just chops Dusty down to the mat, and Flair immediately is going to go to the figure 4 leg lock. It's going to take a roll of snake eyes to get a finisher here, and Dusty powers out of that. But Dusty Rhodes has been put on notice that Flair can strike with that figure 4 at any time. Flair is still in control, and now he is going to suplex Dusty up and down hard to the canvas. Good leverage there by Ric Flair. He's given away about 40 pounds in this match, but using his leverage and his technical abilities, executed that belly-to-back suplex to perfection. Flair now follows that up with a somersault knee drop across the forehead of Dusty Rhodes. Dusty slow to get to his feet, and Flair with a knee breaker down across the knee of Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty suffers his first knee injury of the night. And Flair is going to go for a submission off of this spinning toe hold type maneuver. The submission roll here is only a 3 or lower, and on 7 Dusty powers out, but Flair is in the driver's seat. What's Flair going to do now? He's going to go to the sleeper hold as Dusty gets to his feet. And once again, that is going to be an agility roll of 9 or lower. And on a roll of 5, Flair gets the sleeper hold locked in. And Dusty is, oh my gosh, is he going to have to give it up here on a roll of 4? Oh, and he got him. Out of nowhere, another quick finish. That was a roll of 4 or lower on the submission for the sleeper. And on a roll of 3, Ric Flair has put Dusty Rhodes to sleep. Ric Flair has won his second consecutive Filsinger Cup title. And I got to say I'm a little disappointed, but, the dice do what the dice do. As out of nowhere, Ric Flair with the sleeper hold. Dusty was worried about the figure 4. And before Dusty knew what hit him, the sleeper hold by the Nature Boy puts the lights out on Dusty Rhodes and gives Flair his second consecutive Filsinger Cup trophy and a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. So Flair took Vader down once tonight. He'll have a chance to do it again with the world title on the line. But for now, it is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, woo! Strutting around the ring and holding that Filsinger Cup high overhead after a huge victory over Vader in a marathon match. He was able to surprise Dusty Rhodes out of nowhere with a sleeper hold and put Dusty away in the center of the ring for the victory and your Filsinger Cup Tournament Championship for the year 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I am stunned as, the final 3 Filsinger Cup Championships all kind of came and went on surprise dice rolls, but that is how the cookie crumbles in the Legends of Wrestling game. So congratulations to all of tonight's Filsinger Cup winners. The Nature Boy Ric Flair, Sensational Sherri Martel, the ladies tag team of Allison K and Taylor Made, and the one and only fabulous Freebirds are your Filsinger Cup winners for 2021. And that is going to wrap things up here from the Dave Cave. As Salvatore says, congratulations, Nature Boy Ric Flair. I was expecting a marathon. I think we all were. But thank you to everybody who tuned in for tonight's great show. Salvador America, Carl Zilla, Al Red Sox fan was here, James Lawrence III, Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, JT, Alex M., Brian Vanderwall. Thank you to everybody who came out tonight for action from Heartland Championship Wrestling, brought to you by the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network, live from the Dave Cave. So once again, thank you to everybody for tuning in. And for Heartland Championship Wrestling, that's our stream. And I am out of here.